Israel is marking its Memorial Day in the shadow of its devastating war on Gaza. Families of Israeli soldiers booed the far-right security minister, that's Itamar Ben-Gvir, as he arrived at a cemetery in Ashdod. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government is facing protests for its handling of the war. The day is used to remember soldiers who have been killed in battle. Let's go to Stephanie Decker, who's in Amman, Jordan. The Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from Israel, so we are reporting from Jordan on this. Steph, so it's Memorial Day in Israel, the day that the country remembers its soldiers, the soldiers fallen in previous battles and in this one. And this is, of course, we just saw it, laying bare divisions in the country, very deep divisions about what the next move should be, how to fight this war, and crucially, how to end it.
Yes, I think, the Israeli public has unanimously pretty much been behind this war. They are behind this war. What has changed over time is, and it's interesting, Benjamin Netanyahu gave a speech earlier in Jerusalem marking Memorial Day where he said, we were set on victory, and victory meant, bringing the captives home. But he's not doing that. And this is why you have growing resentment, growing anger at this government, because they see him as not bringing the captives home, pushing ahead with this war, really only to prolong his political career. You played those pictures there of Itamar Ben-Gvir, the right-wing minister. You also have Bezalel Smotrich, another right-wing minister who also was booed at another event in Israel today, because people understand that Netanyahu is playing a political game here of survival, of his own political survival, at the expense, they say, of bringing the captives home. Because any ceasefire deal, of course, the deal that we've been talking about for so long, which at the moment still remains elusive, comes very much against what those right-wing ministers want. And why are they important? Because they ensure his political survival as prime minister. So this is the debate in Israel. And for a long time, Cyril, you've had heads of security, leaks from the cabinet, leaks from the war cabinet over months saying that it's Benjamin Netanyahu who is reluctant to also even make a plan of the day after, something they critically need in order to move forward, and only because of his political survival.
Steph, we're into the 8th month of war, and now we're seeing that the Israeli military is going back into areas that it already conquered, taking casualties again in those areas. So I wonder, how is the defense establishment, how are the military, what's the military saying about its own war? How do they say they're doing?
Yes, it's actually quite extraordinary. These are areas that the army had left, had said it was cleared, it was now Rafah, everything was focusing on the Rafah, and this is where, once they go in and clear it of the remaining Hamas fighters, that they could declare victory. Unofficially, the army has leaked in Israeli media that it is the lack of a political process. It is the lack of a real clear vision of what is next at the end of the war. A lot of blame has been put on the Israeli prime minister. I mean, even interestingly, you've had leaks and reports in the American media saying that everything that Israel's been saying is that Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, of course, hugely symbolic for Israel to kill him. He is a major target. Israel saying it's believed he is operating underneath Rafah in the tunnel system there. Well, recently a U.S. report saying that actually no, they believe that he remains in Khan Yunis, where Sinwar was born and raised. So you have all this conflicting about, is the military strategy working? Have they managed to really eliminate, as they say, large parts of Hamas? If we're looking at the ground now, we were just talking about this in the office, it almost looks like we're going back in time, where you have, again, different battles in different areas of Gaza, back to the north, back to Jabalia, back to Beit Lahia, which is right on the border with Israel. So I think, as you say, we're in the 8th month of this war. Things are not clear, and certainly militarily, they seem to be taking steps back.
All right, Stephanie Decker there. Thank you very much for your reporting, as always. And again, you're reporting on this from Amman, Jordan, because the Israeli government has shut down Al Jazeera within Israel. Thank you, Steph.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.